Hi guys, I'm just going to show you just some of the things that I use when I'm rhinestoning, and then also some of the things that are going to be in the little rhinestone kits that we're going to be selling. And then I'm also going to do a little demo about how to load your syringe and then how to place the rhinestones. So when we do costumes for pre-comp or for comp teams, we have one parent who does the sample costume, and it's usually their child's costume, and they receive direction from me and instructions about where I want the stones and where we've decided is the best place for them to go. And then they will do the sample costume, which again is their child's costume. They'll take pictures along the way. They will do a count of approximately how many stones they've used on certain areas, and then they will count out those stones for everyone on the team and then share pictures and directions on your team page. So as an example, this is one of my daughter's costumes from last year. This one has a lot of stones on it, but her team ambassador went and created these directions, and you can see, we place rhinestones along the edge. And it's not like you have to go and you have to create any of this. This is already like the directions are already done for you. So it's just a matter of you just following the directions that have been laid out and using the rhinestones that have been provided for you. And you can always ask questions along the way. The Facebook group is really great for that, or just reaching out to your ambassadors individually, super great for that as well. So we are going to be selling some rhinestone kits that are going to be available in the next week or so, and they will have individual tubes of E6000. You can buy these in larger quantities. I personally love to buy the mini tubes just because it's a lot easier. Like one tube fits one syringe, and that way, as soon as you're done with this tube, you're done with the syringe. You can toss both of them. I don't recommend reusing the syringes, but you can, like I said, you can buy the bigger ones. You just have to kind of close it up each time, all based on personal preference, but this is what we're going to be selling. So we're going to be selling a handful of mini tubes. You're also going to get a handful of syringes with syringe tips, and then you are going to be getting a couple of these little trays. These are great for when you're working with stones, kind of keeping, if you have multiple sizes you're working with, keeping the sizes separate. And then also like if you're working with them and you need them all to be face up, so you can use the pickup tool, just kind of shake this a little bit and the stones bounce off the edges of the triangle and they eventually flip, which is nice. But anyway, you'll get a few of these, and then you'll also get a pickup tool. Now there are a lot of different pickup tools that you can use. You can see I have like a ton here that I use. Definitely like the nicest one is going to be the crystal katana. You can buy this one on Amazon. You can buy it locally at Rhinestones Unlimited or Crystal Couture. It is kind of spendy. It's about $30. Sometimes you can use a coupon with it, but honestly we are actually going to be selling these ones, which as you can tell based on my cup, we use these in the costume room all the time. There are so many different options for pickup tools, as long as it does have wax, jeweler's wax on the end. That's all that really matters. Honestly, my absolute favorite thing to use is a sharp crayon, because it picks up stones just the same way, and it's really small and lightweight. So if all else fails and you can't find your pickup tool, or you just don't want to buy one, you can definitely use a new crayon. That's totally an option. But our kit is going to include this little guy right here. So when you are loading your syringe, and like I said, you're going to have a few of these in your little kit, you want to take the tip, and eventually we're going to it just kind of screws in there like that. But first we're going to load our syringe. So you're going to unscrew this, and you take, this end has a pointy side, you just put it in there and kind of pops a hole. And I'm going to take these two pieces apart, and I like to load mine like this. I like it to be at an angle. So what you want to make sure is that you're giving yourself a chance to let all the air bubbles out. That's like the biggest thing, because, and I'll show you in a second how I get the air bubbles out. And again, this is the way I do it, and this is just how I've learned to do it. So this is not like the right way. There's not, only one way to do it. But one thing I am doing is I'm leaving, you can see space right here going all the way down to the opening. You don't want that to close up. So I don't want to like squeeze all the glue in there super tight and then have this be totally sealed off with glue, because it's gonna be really hard for me to get my air bubbles out at the end. So I'm just going at an angle, kind of like a little slide, and I'm taking my time to let the glue slide down, because that's super important. Usually I'll do the whole tube, but right now I'll just do that. But take your time, because it's more important that you have that little passageway there right here so that you can get all the air bubbles out. So I'm going to leave the tip off when I'm doing this. I'll put it on in a second, but I'm going to go and I'm going to put my stopper in. And when I do that, I'm leaving myself the opportunity to get all that air out. So I'm just going to lightly push, and then I have no more air bubbles, which is super nice. And then I'm going to put the tip on, and it just screws right in place. So if you do end up, you know, glue gets all the way around and it is kind of sealed in there and you have air on this side, and then when you put the stopper in you also have air on this side, all you need to do is just tip the syringe until you'll see that it'll move so slowly, but you'll see the air bubble will move gradually this direction as you tip the syringe, and you just patiently wait. And then as soon as the air bubble gets to the top right here, then you go and you just push the stopper up, and the air bubble will shoot right out and you'll feel it release in the syringe. But if you do have air bubbles in here, like really big air bubbles, it's gonna make it really hard for your glue to come out properly. It will just like continuously come out, and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm wasting so much glue. So, and again, if you have questions about this, or you're like, I don't feel confident in this, you can always stop in and I can show you in person too. I know video is kind of hard, so I don't mind at all, or you can ask one of your ambassadors. But yeah, please ask questions if you have a question. So this tray already has some rhinestones on it right here, which is super fun. So I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna take this extra little piece of strap right here. So and again, I would be going off of whatever design, you know, my ambassador posted with sample pictures, but we're gonna just pretend that we're doing rhinestoning just down this strap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my syringe and I'm gonna put 3 little dots, however evenly spaced. And if you want to, you may absolutely get a tape measure out. Like, there are people that definitely do that. So you can see I've got my 3 little dots on there. So it should be enough glue that the whole bottom of the stone, when I push down, is getting glued down, but not too much that it completely gobs out the sides. So you kind of got to figure out, you know, how to regulate there. So I'm gonna take my pickup tool and I'm just gonna go and pick up my stone. It picks it up super nicely. I'm gonna place it right on top of the glue, just like that. And I'm pushing it down with the tip of the pickup tool, just like that. And then if you ever do need to like move stuff around and you don't want to, like, you know, get your fingers in there, this guy works great for just, here, let me just adjust this. This guy works great for just moving stuff around, which is super great. And then you pick up your syringe again and you'll do more glue. And sometimes, you know, the glue does get a little bit crazy, and so sometimes you need to wipe it away and waste some glue, and that's totally fine. Now the E6000 does take about 24 hours to fully dry, but it's pretty tacky, so it's it works pretty well. But anyway, so that is kind of what you need to know. And like I said, sometimes you're gonna have, you know, varying sizes. On this costume of my daughter's, we had varying sizes and varying colors. So we had these little ones around the neckline, we had these ones on the Mickey, and then the belt had something totally different on it. So if, you know, that is the case, I will make sure I tell the ambassador that, and then they will also note that in their directions. But yeah, please feel free to ask if you have any questions. Like I said, these kits will be available for sale next week. You can always go and order your own items on Amazon if you like to. You usually just have to order them in like bulk, like sets of 100. So if you want to order that many, you absolutely can totally go ahead. Otherwise, we are going to have them here in more manageable quantities. You are more than welcome to do either. So let us know if you have any questions.